Hey Aries, welcome to your love reading for April 2021. If you are sick and tired of love readings, you came to the right channel. You just clicked on the wrong video, my darlings. I do weekly forecasts where I focus on everything other than love. I've been a little inconsistent the last 2 weeks. There's been some stuff going on, but I am going to be posting right after this video a weekly forecast. So be sure to check out the weekly forecasts for your zodiac sign. This is going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, because I know a lot of people like to check out their Venus sign when it comes to love. So I always set that intention for our Venus watchers. Anything and everything that might be helpful for you all to know regarding love life. I feel this anxiety in my chest. I feel nervousness, and I'm hearing the song by Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is. I can't sing it. I'm not a good singer, and I don't want to get, I don't want YouTube to, like, kind of get mad at me that I'm, plagiarizing musical materials or whatever. So, but I just feel there's this energy here of vulnerability. I feel like this intense vulnerability. And Aries, I feel like a lot of you were either, well, I'll say this. I feel like a lot of you Aries were really okay, or you were good, content with where your love life was. So if you were single, all right, no sweat off your back. You were cool being single. Or if you were in a relationship, you weren't really questioning it too much. You like everything was fine. But I just feel either those of you who are single, somebody's come in that for the first time in a long time you're actually taking seriously, and you're wanting to let in and you're feeling nervous about it. Those of you in a relationship, I feel that relationship is kind of going deeper or next level. Maybe you guys have had to face some emotional or challenging things together, and it's like, whoa, like the heart chakra starting to open up. And so I feel like a little bit of like an overwhelmed energy. We'll see what the cards have to say. That's just intuitively what I was feeling, but we'll see what your cards have to say. Ooh, look at this. First card is the Five of Wands. And so I'm going to move it over here so we can put the other cards, because some people say, we want to see all the cards. So Five of Wands here can be conflicting goals or struggles. It can be an energy here where you're not seeing eye to eye, or you don't want the same thing. I feel for the majority of you what's happening, like I said, I don't think you were super duper focused on love, right? Even if you were in a relationship, you were comfortable, you were confident in the relationship, you were doing your own thing. And now it's taken on a life of its own, and you're having to second guess what you're wanting to do in the future, and what your priorities are, and what you're going to face with this person. Five of Wands can also indicate that you have some internal struggle. Like you're having a really hard time with like your own kind of will, or your struggles, or your doubts, or your insecurities. I feel a lot of you are feeling very conflicted, and you're wanting to shut the door on this. Like you're wanting to ignore it, you're wanting to push it away, but it's almost like I'm sorry, I'm giggling here because Spirit just gave me a visual of like the old cartoons when like they shove a bunch of stuff in the closet and they're trying to shut the door, but they can't, like the stuff is like swelling out of the closet and pushing against the door. I feel like you're trying to close the door on this, but you can't. It's too big. I feel like even though you might not be the kind of person that typically you make your decisions based on your emotions, you might not do that typically. I feel in this situation, the emotion is so strong, you're overcoming the fear, you're overcoming the anxiety, or you're prepared to make some kind of sacrifice for this relationship. That's the feeling and the vibe that I'm getting. The next card we have here, Aries, is the Eight of Cups, right? Fulfillment, wanting something fulfilling, wanting something deeper, wanting something more meaningful. I feel for some of you, you feel a little bit frustrated because you thought something was done or dealt with within yourself, but this new person coming in, or this relationship going into the next phase, uh I just kind of feel like it's triggering you a little bit. I'm just feeling really strong emotions coming to the surface. And I always say this, and I'm not saying it in like a mean or derogatory way, but like we can think we're totally healed, but there's nothing like love to bring any little cobwebs of craziness we have left, to bring them to the surface, right? There's nothing like love and being emotionally invested in a situation where it brings everything to the surface in terms of any insecurities, sometimes things we thought we've dealt with, and we're like, oh gosh, great, like here I go feeling nervous or worried or anxious. And the Eight of Cups is coming up here, basically saying, I feel a lot of you Aries, you're taking the relationship seriously, like you're either willing to make this reconciliation or go next level, or you're willing to get into a new relationship altogether. But I feel like a lot of you are also in this really soul searching energy where you're taking more serious steps and actions towards resolving anything within yourself, like dealing with any insecurities, any fears. Aries, I feel a lot of you are going through this quest of like going within and making your spiritual connection because you're trying to heal commitment issues. And I want to clarify something about commitment issues. When people hear commitment issues, they automatically assume that this means somebody who doesn't want to commit because they want to play around. They want to go out and be with a bunch of different partners, and they want to have a good time, and they want to kind of go and live a life of debauchery. And it's not the case, right? That is one form of commitment issues. So there are some people that their commitment issues cause them to behave that way, but some people's commitment issues is just like this fear of letting people in. That's a commitment issue, right? And I feel that Aries, a lot of you, not that you were wanting to be a player, but I feel you were just in this energy where it's hard to trust that somebody else can come into your life as an equal partner and like not mess things up, not get things wrong, not lie to you, not take advantage in some way. So it's like, okay, well, I feel safer on my own, or I feel safer, my partner does their thing and I do my thing. And I feel the relationship now is coming to a level where you can't do that anymore, right? With any relationship, the longer you guys are together, there's going to come to a point where you can't just go making decisions without asking your long-term partner, right? Especially if it's coming into things like children or buying property or living together, or like what you're doing with your money is affecting the other person and vice versa. So I feel like a lot of you, the relationship is getting to that phase where you can't just go off and do what you typically would have done, and that's making you scared. Like, oh man, now I have to let this person in. I have to take their opinions into consideration in what I want to do. And, like it begins to feel kind of scary for some of you Aries, because like in your life people have let you down, right? It's that whole thing of, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. A lot of you are doing the self work to break out of that, to allow yourself to receive someone stepping up and helping, right, contributing in some way, and having the ability to trust them to come in and to help you, and that, to trust that they're not going to mess everything up. And that can be terrifying. That can be absolutely terrifying to uh let somebody in. And that's the kind of commitment issues I feel a lot of you Aries are having to face in April. The next card we have coming up here is the Six of Wands, and this is overcoming obstacles, overcoming challenges, overcoming difficulties. And this is going to be here an energy of being able to succeed in whatever the goal is here. But with the Six of Wands, I feel for some of you, there's some kind of praise that you're receiving. There's something that this is more so for you single Aries. There's some kind of success, like your career is reaching a certain success. And I heard contract, but I felt it was more around business, not necessarily around like a soul contract or spiritual contract. But like I see, like people are talking about you. People are talking about you in your field, or they're talking about you in your business, your entrepreneurship, or whatever it may be. And I feel someone is reaching out to you, wanting to congratulate you, wanting to meet you, wanting to collaborate with you. And that's their only really intention in the beginning. But I feel like once they meet you and you guys get to talking, this is someone that's having a romantic interest in you and beginning to pursue you. uh some of you set a boundary and walked away from a person, right? With this Five of Wands, you felt like you were competing for their attention. And the Eight of Cups was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to fall into that mess. I'm not going to fall into that category. And you walked away. And now Six of Wands, you beat out the competition. This person is like, wait a minute, Aries, don't leave. Like, I want to be with you. Like, maybe I wasn't making enough time and I see that now and I'm going to step it up. Or maybe I was letting these other people have the impression that I wasn't attached, but I'm going to stop doing that, So I feel like for some of you, you got tired of competing for a place in somebody's life, and you walked away, and this person is like, no, Aries, you're the winner, you're the one I want to be with. And I already know there's some of you in the comments like, well, then forget them, and you're a horrible reader, and you're toxic, and you're terrible, telling people not to respect themselves and take that person back. I'm not telling you to take the person back or not. I don't know your life. I'm not living in your shoes. Everybody makes that decision for themselves. All I'm telling you is that some of you walked away from a person and for the reason that you felt like they weren't making you a priority. And whether the priority is because of other options in terms of relationship or priority in terms of how much time they were giving you, and this person is like, no, like you're my priority and I'm gonna prove it to you, right? I'm not saying you have to give them a chance. You have free will. Please don't put your life in the hands of general readings on YouTube. You have to do what you feel right in your spirit and in your soul. Nobody knows your circumstances better than you. You may need a private reading, and even then, you have to make your own decisions. The next card here is the Tower. Okay, now I know the Tower scares a lot of people, and they don't like to see it because we think of the Tower here with chaos. We think of the Tower here with really big changes. But the Tower is basically a paradigm shift when our world and the way that we see the world is changing completely and totally. It's a permanent change in our life, and it's a change that's pushing us out of our comfort zone. So sometimes these changes are positive and happy ones. It doesn't have to be something devastating. It doesn't have to be something heartbreaking. So I typically don't pull clarifiers for the cards in the YouTube videos. I'll do clarifiers in the private readings, but since it's the Tower, I know it's a card that freaks a lot of people out. We'll go ahead and pull clarifiers here for the Tower. Why is the Tower here? What message does it have for Aries? Please, clarifier 1. Please show us clarifier 2. Please show us clarifier 3. I don't know why. This is so random. I feel like some of you are dealing with a really like steampunky kind of person. Like somebody who kind of has like this steampunk vibe, and you're like, I don't know, you need to grow up. And you're like trying to get rid of this person, and they're like, no, look, I can grow up. I feel like maybe this is somebody that's like a very creative person, and uh they're finding a balance, like to maintain their creativity and their self-expression, but also to show you like, hey, take me seriously. I don't know why I got that vibe, but I got that vibe. Anyway, look at the clarifiers here around the Tower. Queen of Swords, boundaries, get it right or get out of the way. I'm not messing around. I don't have time for any nonsense. Are you in or are you out? What do you want? And for some of you, the roles can be reversed. Those of you who've been dealing with commitment issues and such, you might have somebody who's like, look, Aries, I have done everything that I can, right? So either you're going to let me in or you're going to cut me loose. It's up to you. I don't want to walk away, but it's time you make your decision. It's time you make your choice. For other ones of you, it's more so like the boundaries. Like I said, you kind of like walked away, and this person's like trying to get you back. Next card here is the Five of Pentacles. And the next card here is the Five of Cups. So lots of changes here in life. There could be uncertainty around finances. There can be uncertainty around finances, because we do have here the Five of Pentacles. But Five of Pentacles can also just be someone who feels left out in the cold. Somebody who's feeling kind of rejected. Somebody who's feeling like you're not letting them in. Disappointment. Things not going the way that they had hoped. Feeling a little bit rejected. So Aries, I feel like you're having to make this choice about how much you're wanting to change your life for an existing relationship. Because some of you, it's going to take a lot of big changes and a lot of self-work to let the person in to the extent that they're wanting you to let them in. It's making you feel really vulnerable. And that vulnerable might be a little uncomfortable. But and for other ones of you, you already moved on and this person's coming back and they're trying to show you, and you have to make a decision here. Like, all right, what do I want to do? Am I sticking to my plan? Am I gonna let this person in again? And I'm gonna be really honest with you, Aries. I feel like for some of you, you're having to overcome like this fear of being with someone who's not as successful as you. I don't feel like the person you're dealing with is looking for a free lunch or a meal ticket. I don't. I feel like this is someone who can hold their own, right? Like they're not looking to you to take care of them financially, but you might be looking at them like, I don't know if they're ambitious enough. I don't know how I'm going to feel about showing them off or introducing them to people, or are people going to judge me? And I don't think you're worried that the people are going to judge you in terms of like, your person is like not a valuable person. I think you're worried that they're going to judge you like, oh, well, this person's probably with Aries because Aries is sugar daddy or Aries is sugar mama or something. And you don't want to be seen in that way. Uh, so I think Aries, you're getting very clear about, all right, okay, I'm gonna let you in, but this is what I need you to do. This is what I need to see from you. This is, like I would like it if you were a little bit more ambitious, or I would really like it if you would take your studies more seriously, or work towards moving up in your career, whatever it might be. um there might be some pushback from this person, right? But I feel like, Aries, you are like, I need you in my life, but I also need you to make these changes, and here's the changes I'm gonna make. So not a compromise, but like kind of meeting in the middle. The next card here is the Lovers. And the Lovers card here is romantic relationships, obviously, and it could be sometimes a Gemini, dealing with a Gemini. However, traditionally, when tarot was first put together and introduced, the sixth major arcana card was not called the Lovers. Some decks called it the Choice, or the Decision, or the Sacrifice. So it's about choosing between two things. You have some big decisions to make. Okay. And I think a lot of you, Aries, in the past, it was easier for you to walk away from relationships because you had this mindset of, well, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing self-love. I'm choosing independence. I'm choosing not putting my life in anybody else's hands. And that worked for a really long time. But now you're in a situation where you have feelings and you want this person in your life, and you're working to overcome your fears to have that level of emotional intimacy, right? But I feel what the decision here is in this time, the sacrifice here is in this time, is you figuring out really what your deal breakers are, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you, Aries, I feel like a lot of you are dealing with a very sensitive person. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm not putting them down. I feel like this person is in your life because they're very in touch with their feelings, and they're kind of teaching you to be in touch with your feelings. And so they feel things very deeply, and they think the world of you. So you have to be very careful when you tell them what you want them to change. You have to be careful how you're wording it, because I feel for some of you, you have the risk that you're going to like crush this person emotionally. Like they're going to be so hurt and so devastated, like, oh my gosh, Aries, I didn't know you felt that way about me. So be true, be honest, but also ask yourself, is this really that important? Is this really a deal breaker? Right? And if it is, how can I word this in a positive way? How can I word this in a constructive way where this person is not going to feel like they're being judged? Because I don't feel like you're trying to judge anybody. Okay? You may want to check out your moon sign or rising sign. If this isn't your Venus sign, you may want to check out your Venus sign. I know some people like to check out their moon, their sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Some people watch them all because different aspects might resonate. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I'll also have the link in the description. Thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And don't forget to check out the weekly forecasts. Bye, my darlings.